when you see the power of small and you are in this state of reverence for this interconnection of life, amazing things happen. Right? They always do, and in the most unexpected places. So here I am with my cousin and with a bunch of friends in Chicago at this random dinner table, and we're talking about like pranks. And we said, okay, why do kids in college, we were talking about college kids, why do they do pranks? And we thought about it, and we got into a detailed discussion. We're like, well, they do pranks because they're collaborative, they're challenging, they're creative, and we started listing a whole bunch of attributes. But at the end of it, we realized that, well, you do these pranks, and you get this brief like, oh, hey, I showed you, but they're largely destructive. Like, you don't leave feeling a better human being. You don't leave feeling more interconnected. You don't feel leaving more alive. You're like, oh yeah, I did that, and like, okay, now it's over, and then you move on to something else. It's like that same emptiness. And so we said, how can we take those same elements and make them into something more constructive? And so we came up with this idea. It was completely random at this table, and we were like, what if we decided to do acts of kindness? So somebody's having a bad day. Blast them with flowers, blast them with goodness, blast them with like all this energy that they have no idea where it came from, you know, and like, wow, someone cares, wow, someone did this, wow, people are good, I have faith in humanity, you know, I'm no longer down. Why not do that? Right? It can be collaborative, it can be very challenging, it can be very creative. The same elements that you could do a prank with, you could actually do an act of kindness with. And so we're like, okay, this is cool, this has some merit. And then we were like, okay, well, we should make it challenging. How can we make it challenging? And what's the hardest thing about giving? It's getting credit. Most people want credit for, like, the tendency of the ego is to want credit, want recognition for something that you do, even though it's small. And so we said, let's make it anonymous. And we're like, okay, so you do an anonymous act of kindness, and you leave behind a card, which tells them you've been tagged with an act of kindness, and now it's your chance to pay it forward. And we're like, this is a good idea. Let's do it. And so we just did it right then. We started like writing all this stuff up, and we're like, what should the card say? And we did it. And we're like, and my cousin, getting excited, he's like, oh, this could be really cool. It's like me and my buddies, we could like get together in the basement, nobody will know, and like we scheme, you know, projects, we scheme ideas, we scheme, you know, ways to make people's day. That's it. And then we're out of there. Nobody even knows. It's like, you've been, random act of kindness, you've been racked. And we started, you know, and that was one of the projects, was the Smile Card project. And we said, okay, let's do this. But again, we're so process driven, so we said, well, if it's anonymous, we should try to keep the site anonymous too, otherwise people are going to know. And so we said, okay, we'll create a website, and on the site you can, you know, go and read stories and get ideas and order cards and whatnot. But when you click on the About Us, it says, we are you. We are you. That's it. What do you mean about us? This is it. This is all of us. And we did another radical thing. We said, if people wanted cards that they couldn't print, if they wanted to download it, they could. But if they wanted cards that they could print, or they couldn't print, they could order them. And we would ship it to them. And again, anonymously. And guess what? Without cost. And people looked at us, and, you know, as we developed this project, people were like, okay, that's ridiculous, you know, how you're just going to give out free cards to anybody who wants it anywhere in the world? How is it going to work? And we said, well, I don't know, if I receive something kind, if I receive something generous, and I don't know who did it, I usually have a lot of gratitude. I'll be like, oh, who was this that did it? And when my cup runneth over, it spills into the world around me. And then that person will then, you know, reach out, and it'll go out to other people. And over time, it'll come back to us. And I had faith in that. We all had faith in that. And we said, that's fine, you know, and let's say it didn't come back to us. So what, you know, we printed 5,000 cards, and that was the end of Smile Cards. okay, that's fine. You know, we have 5,000 and more smile cards in the world. And so that's how we started. We went to Kinko's, and like we tell the guy we want to print 100 of these cards. And guess what? The guy behind the counter, we were ready to pay for it. The guy behind the counter says, nope, this is a really cool thing. And guess what? I get employee perks and you don't need to pay for it. And so our first 100 cards itself was a gift. And we didn't have to wait till 5,000 to get our gift, like before it even started.